Yeah, good day for the guys, man. Like, the story was Aiden Vinatieri, man. Just a great job just getting out of the gate. You saw his, the big thing, we had several guys we talked about, but the big thing with Finn is we just felt like he's been there. The guy was a Friday night starter in the ACC for a really good team, and we just knew he wouldn't make the moment too big. And you kind of saw it earlier. I thought he got kind of squeezed early and ends up walking two guys, but then didn't panic. And I think that's why you trust him in that spot. And executed pitches, not only minimized the first to one, but ends up giving us almost 5 innings, which was outstanding. So, Finn was great. Really, really happy with him, and it allowed us to kind of match up that bullpen a little better, use guys in shorter bursts instead of having to lengthen guys out. And, when we brought Finn here, that was a big piece of it, just understanding that he can do a lot of things for us. He can be good out of the pen. He can start games for us. And, man, he just started against the top 10 team in the country and threw the ball great and got us off to a good start. So, good game by the boys. And I thought we competed offensively. We kind of made them pay for some mistakes. They made a couple of errors early, and we kind of capitalized on those. And obviously we're talking about his swings today, but really big play there with second and third, 2 outs, makes a diving play to get us out of that inning. So all in all, good win, good game, and now it's on to Sanford.
Coach, obviously, other than maybe a comebacker off the pitcher's dome, that outfield collision could be the scariest play in baseball. Obviously, Richie coming back in the game is good to see. Do you have any word on Kade?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it happens so fast, too, and it's so far away. You guys probably have better angles. I haven't even seen the video on it, but so exactly what happened, I'm uncertain yet. But obviously, a scary collision. I mean, you've got two tough kids, and when one of the toughest is down on the ground and not getting up, it's something. And so obviously going out there and just with the way the rules work, if it's a head or neck injury, you can get them off the field, evaluate them, and then kind of put them back in if they're deemed able to go. And Richie, within a couple minutes, Richie was ready to rock. So Richie's was pretty quick and he looked to kind of get the brunt of it there at the beginning, but Richie was evaluated and said, hey, good to go. So he came back in. And then Kade, the big thing is he just got cut on the hand, so I had some stitches they had to put in there. So that was a big piece of that. But we'll get a better idea when we get in there. But it was good to get Richie back in there, and hopefully the stitches are kind of the least of our concern there with Kade.
Speaking of Kade, Coach, it seems like here lately he's had big at bat after big at bat coming in clutch. Can you just talk about what you've seen out of him through these last couple of weeks and his at bats and your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Kade's just got a knack for the barrel. That's what we say all the time, man. That guy just freaking knows how to hit, and he's unafraid of the moment. Like I said, the barrel accuracy he has is really good, and it's why he's hitting where he's hitting, because you've got a superstar in Braun in the 2, and it gives him some protection, because you've either got to pitch to one of the best players in the country, or you've got to let our captain and one of the toughest kids coming up right behind him that's hitting 430. So all in all, just proud of him. Really, proud is the wrong term. Like, more happy for him, because there's a lot of work that's gone into that, and sometimes this game can be cruel, and you don't get paid back for the work, but he is right now, and so hopefully we have a short stint with him here and get him back real quick.
Coach, I saw so last week, you're in a similar sort of scenario where you're in a rubber match in Game 3, taking a loss last week. I thought the energy was great early on, especially, and then after through a rain delay too. And Bryce, of course, first pitch he sees hits a double. But just speak to how your team handled the rain delays today, and especially like you said, Aiden Vinatieri, getting the ball back after the first rain delay. Just can you kind of just walk us through the toughness of that situation?
No doubt. We knew today, we talked about this morning, do we want to kind of push it back, but everything was spotty, and it didn't look like we had a window where it was going to be awesome. So it's like, hey, let's start as it is. We understand there's going to be some start-stop. And, I talked to our guys yesterday after the game and then again in pregame. I thought the last two games, I thought our intensity kind of grew as the game went on. But if you get slugged in the mouth, sometimes that growing intensity is not good enough. We needed to start with that today. And Poppy obviously gets the big swing there early and runs one out of the yard and gives us the lead. And we're able to just kind of keep tacking on and keep tacking on and keep tacking on. And you knew Oklahoma was going to make a push at some point. I mean, it's a tough group of kids. You knew a push was coming, but we were able to do enough to stem the tide there and get the win.
Coach, both teams kind of seemed pretty evenly met throughout the weekend. Obviously, y'all came out with a series win. How did you feel that? What do you think your team did to kind of eke out the series win?
I mean, we're at home, which is a good start. It's obviously a little bit easier playing at home. But man, especially when we were down some guys this week, being down Riley Quick, you're down one of your best arms, and you don't have you're playing a top 10 team in the country. I think you start looking at things, those teams are pretty evenly matched, and each has some different strengths. They have elite team speed, and they have some elite arms. I mean, like I said on the other day, you got probably the best arm in the country in Kyson Witherspoon, and shoot, the Witherspoon family, there's some velocity in that family. My goodness, that guy's on Sunday up to 98, and obviously Crossan did a great job yesterday. They're running dudes out of the pen with stuff. So I thought, they have a really good pitching staff. They have elite team speed, and I think the difference in the weekend, honestly, was we kind of played cleaner baseball today. We had the one slip, but they made a couple mistakes early, and we were able to take advantage of those. And in a series that's pretty evenly matched, and it's going to swing one way or the other, it's going to be at times who capitalized on those mistakes, and we did a good job of that today.
Bryce, you've had back-to-back really good games at the plate, obviously some changes in the batting lineup. How much of it do you think is due to that, or did you just feel like this was kind of a weekend for you to turn the corner?
Yeah, man, it's been struggles a little bit. Just barrels right at people, but that's part of it. This game's hard, so it's just kind of been a mindset of just keep pushing. Show up every day, just try and keep hitting. Haven't really changed anything in the swing. It's just kind of more of a mindset thing that's kind of changed, and just keep pushing and don't give up. So that, as far as that goes, that's kind of where I'm at.
And Bryce, your mindset, like I said earlier, your mindset coming out of the first rain delay, swinging the first pitch and roping a double to the left field corner. What was your mindset kind of going into that at bat? Do you want to kind of get a spark going again when the team kind of ended before the rain delay with some momentum going?
Obviously coming off a rain delay, I was hoping he was going to throw a first pitch fastball, so I was sitting at it, and I got it, and I just didn't miss it. So felt good to hit a double, and then we ended up scoring, and coming in close, getting me around, so that's always good. So felt good. So,
Coach, the poise of this group, you've talked about it before, but I mean, you knew going in even with the weather too that it was going to be a tough game. What did you think of just the way that the guys showed up to the ballpark today and what they brought to the field?
Yeah, I mean, we just did what we do, and I didn't think. I mean, it's on paper, everybody looks at it, it's like, man, huge game today, rubber match, this and that. I thought this group was kind of business as usual, and I think that's what allows them to operate in those spots and in the big moments and in the big innings and in the big games is just kind of come out and be us. Us is good enough. And if us isn't good enough today, us will line up and be us again on Tuesday and see if it's good enough then. And I think I talked about the other day, I think it's a really present group. I think it's a group that enjoys being together. I think it enjoys being at the yard, and it showed up. So just a professional approach with the way they handled the game today. And like I said, now this game's hard. Like you have a big series win, and now you look up and you don't even really enjoy it. You just turn your attention to the next one and go back to work.
Bryce, it will be the Garrett Staten Bowl on Tuesday. Will there be any ripping of him in the dugout after you guys got this series win going into that game?
I don't think so. I'm sure his Sanford boys over there will probably give him a little toughness out there on the field or something, say something like that. But we haven't mentioned it too much, so just focus on the next game. I know it'll be fun for him, so looking forward to it on Tuesday.
What kind of a boost has it been to have him back when you guys line up?
It's huge. Obviously, you see the collision out there in the outfield, and the guy goes and plays left field. So just having a utility guy like that, and obviously his bat's unreal. The power's real. The hit tool's real. So just kind of having a guy that can kind of do it all on both sides of the ball that's always good to have in the lineup and on your team.
Couple more questions.
Yeah, Coach, you talk about this weekend of the starters did a good job not letting the inning snowball and limited to 1 run, maybe 2 runs. How did you speak on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we taught. Like, ideally, we would never walk one person. We would never hit a guy, and we would never make an error. That would be a fun team to coach if that was the case. Just not baseball. Like, you're gonna get that. You're gonna have the innings that, man, they had that inning that they scored 2. One of those innings was a leadoff walk, and then there's a ball that squeaks through the infield with an exit velo of about 37 miles an hour. It's just, that's baseball, right? And it's first and third, and you're in that situation, and your job there is not to be perfect. Your job there is just go minimize and just go make the next pitch. JJ says all the time, you'll hear lead off double, go get the next 3 guys out. It's something that JJ and Mo have preached to these guys from day one. And normally the team that wins the big inning battle ends up on the right side of this thing, normally. Like, those are the things that get you, and we did a really good job this weekend of limiting those. We'd give you 1, we weren't giving you 2. We're giving you 2, we weren't giving you 3, and we did a good job of keeping that in there. That way, even when you're chasing, like yesterday, we go down 3-0 early because it's 1-1-1, but you're chasing a 3-0 lead. If one of those gets hairy, chasing 6 or 7 is a whole different ball game. So our hitters worked their way back into it against a good arm, worked their way back into it, and gave themselves a chance. Came up a little short, but I think that's the beauty of it is it's mindset. It's I think too many times guys get to those spots and they got to make a better pitch. I got to be better, and all of a sudden your stuff flattens out. You start being behind the count. You start walking guys, and that's when things really snowball. Our guys had a really good mindset when it comes to that, and man, have done a great job of minimizing things.
Bryce, and that diving catch he had at the end of I believe that was the 7th inning, or no, whichever inning it was. That ended up saving 2 runs, which is the difference of the game. Can you just walk me through a moment like that and what goes through your mind when the ball comes off the bat like that?
Being a defensive player is just, back your pitchers up. The game's hard already how it is. You get in a tough spot like that and you want your defense to back you up. That's kind of what coaches preach all the time is let your defense work. And, that's kind of my goal and what I try to do every time the ball's hit my way. So obviously felt good to catch a ball like that, but it's kind of just I expect that out of myself. So felt good to catch it and glad we got out there with less runs than already scored.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks, guys.